I got a dog behind me, John.
I like that dog. I'm not sure about what he's dressed in, but I like the dog. Now say thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,
Now, bump, bump.
And suitable language number 32, I think.
Is it?
Our numbers may be because we've had to throw one out or something. I don't remember. But we're back, John. We're back. People said we'd never make it this far. That you and I would never stay together for 32 episodes because we're so much alike. Twins. Look at us, folks.
Yeah, I mean,
twins.
You're like, it's just like looking into a mirror.
Two Irish German Catholics that aren't Catholic.
We order from the same Kaufman's catalog.
Yeah. Kohl's, sorry.
Kohl's.
Is Kaufman's even open? You
I
are an old fuck.
I don't shop in stores.
Going back to memories of a time never was. We got
I get all my stuff from Costco.
Costco! Number one story, the Cleveland Browns got their ass whipped.
Costco Pico train.
Oh, Browns.
Oh, poor Browns. I know, you guys had your hopes up.
We were wacko for Flacco.
Yeah, you were.
We were whacking all over the place. We were like a Trump. We were like a Trump rally. Wacko, wacko, wacko.
It's just ironic the Ohio State quarterback is the one to do it to you, isn't it? It's just kind of.
He's from California. Fuck him.
Well, but he might be from California, but wasn't he a Buckeye quarterback?
Yeah.
Thanks
for throwing that in my face. Shoot it all over my face, John.
To remind you, you probably could have drafted him if. Let's not talk about it.
Well, I don't know. We could have been bad enough.
Well, you can always make moves.
That's more pain. Looking at that team, half of their stuff is. Well, we would have had to draft well. I don't really think. I know our guy is good at finding people off the scrap heap, but he's not good at drafting. Andrew Berry.
So Super Bowl or bust next year, right? I mean, there's no in between.
Every year. We're gonna bust.
No, but I mean, when Deshaun went down, you guys were kind of like, this could be. It might not.
Well, a lot of us were like, "Yay!"
Yeah. Hold
Deshaun,
on, Kat. Hold on.
Say what you want, but he's the happiest man in the world. But
Yeah.
Joe Flacco didn't win yesterday. He's not gonna ever. He can't say it, but you can just. That piece of shit is over there going like, "Yeah, Browns, you need me."
Oh, I mean, I'm sure he was enjoying himself. Sorry, somebody was trying to get attention here.
He can't say it publicly that he wanted the Browns to lose.
No, I mean, he didn't want the Browns to lose. Come on.
Oh, I don't know.
That's your Browns paranoia coming in. He just didn't play well.
I think he's that piece of a shit.
What's that?
I think he's that much of a piece of shit.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, he was coming back to life. He's a 38-year quarterback, and the defense was able to come back from one, maybe two really horrible mistakes, but he compounded two really horrible mistakes together.
Yeah.
And it was hard for them to defense.
Well, the first one, it was like a 90-yard return. I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
Right, and the
second one was just a horrible, horrible pass.
Well, all year long, there have been times where I've been watching the game with Bo, and they'd been down by a lot. And I tell Bo, they're not winning this, Bo. They're not coming back from this. And then, they did. They came back. And so it conditioned you guys. They're like, oh, they'll come back, right?
Well,
but that was just
hopes.
That was just too much.
Yeah.
But sorry to say, but I think Joe came back to earth a little bit.
Well, no one is wacko for Flacco today.
No. But it was a good season.
No one's doing the Donald Trump dance.
I think if you guys would have drawn Yeah, I don't know. That would have been a tough game. Are you practicing or?
My Trump impression.
Oh. Putin and Un. Putin and Un. Putin and she. Putin and she and Putin. Putin and she.
Tremendous job. I do all the greatest. I do greatest. I do greatest. YMCA.
Is that how he got on an Epstein Island? He had to do a little.
That came out. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah,
The
we
list.
didn't even, we just started.
The list came out, John. The list is out, and your name is not on it, John Wellington.
Oh,
Neither's mine.
well,
I'm so. Oh,
I didn't know that was in question, but
I know, but it would have showed we were, hanging out with the boys.
yeah.
And young girls.
Well, at that time, I would have been their age, so it would have been appropriate,
That's true. You'd have been fine. You'd have been good.
Actually, they
That's
probably
true. I never thought of that.
Appropriate.
Not me. I'm too old.
You still would have been
appropriate
cool.
for you.
That's right. You still would have been.
I would have been a pedophile.
Yes.
So that list. Here's the thing I didn't like about the list. If they just talked about you, like I saw that movie with Harrison Ford, your name was on the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just like this guy's name was brought up, but it had nothing to do with sex or pedophilia or anything. It would be like, oh, they talked about this guy's movie. So anything they talked about, you ended up on the list.
Oh, so is that the same with Stephen Hawking, or he was really there, getting downloaded?
I don't know about the Stephen Hawking one. I didn't know
I heard that, or was he on a boat or something? I don't know. I just thought
Stephen
that.
Hawking. Well, let's look it up.
They said that he was brought up.
Hey, because our legion of listeners want to know.
Yeah, I mean, some sort of. Oh, hold on. There's an exposed pipe.
In your house?
Oh, there we go. I have to move
the
Wizard
Hawking,
here.
He was 76 years old, is one of about 150 names to be included in recently unsealed documents with links to the late convicted sex trafficker, Jeffrey
Who?
Epstein. Stephen Hawking.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't mean there are any allegations of wrongdoing. It certainly does prompt some questions as why and how those mentioned have anything to do with the pedophile. I don't think they spelled it right. Epstein. Again, you could be on the list just because the guy talked about you.
So if they had a conversation about, hey, I like that really good Billy Joel album that just came out. I don't think that ever happened in the late 90s, but said, hey, I really like the Billy Joel album that came out, then he's on the list?
Yeah.
So, and this is the FBI compiling this list, or where did this list come from? The court, right?
Yeah. Well, here, according to The Guardian, the late Cambridge physicist was mentioned in a 2015 email. In the email, he asked his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, issue a reward to any of Epstein's alleged victim, Virginia Giuffre's friends, family, and acquaintances, to disprove her allegations, including those made against Hawking. The strongest is the Clinton dinner and the new version of the Virgin Islands that Stephen Hawking participated in an underage orgy. That's pretty specific. They're saying he fucked her. He took part in an underage orgy.
All
what
right.
kind of orgy? Underage orgy.
Just tip his wheelchair back. That's just,
Well, he wasn't always in a wheelchair.
Oh, he wasn't?
I don't think so. Didn't you see his show? He started out walking around, didn't he?
Really? No, I was not. I never really saw pre-Hawking before wheelchair.
Epstein files Maxwell's underwater sex trafficking scheme. His submarine pilot license came into question as more documents are released. What?
Did you say underwater?
Yeah. His charity, Terra Marv with Link to High Seas, is now scrutinized for potential illicit use as well. Here's a picture.
Oh, what? Because it's not in a territory or something like that as the way he was able to get around certain stuff
I don't know.
because he's out on open seas.
Let's present it. Okay, he's there. All right. Now I will have to go here and click this, make it large. Where are you? Okay. You see that?
Oh, okay.
There's Stephen.
Yeah.
The blonde woman.
That's who?
So,
One of the ladies, the girls.
that's a girl. They're in a submarine.
Oh, okay.
That's
how,
not.
and they would just go down in there like huh? Man, that's a long way to go, don't you think? That's a lot to pay.
Don't you think Epstein could have been on the submersible too that blew up? That would have been fun.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about whenever I saw that, and how it doesn't, unless they're lighting candles around there and stuff. That's got to be the most
light candles
appetizing, or not appetizing, but the most I guess we call that. It doesn't create a mood that well of a mood. You know what I mean? It's very clinical.
Oh my God, there's so much pressure on. I gotta fuck.
Right?
Water pressure all around me.
But you know what though? There have to be other witnesses, because you can't tell me that Stephen Hawking was just out there by himself. He's got to have a nurse or something, right?
Yeah, someone's got to.
Someone helps take care of him.
I don't know what fancy wheelchairs are like.
Yeah, you know what that person also is? A witness.
Oh, is that what they call witnesses?
I mean, it's always the nurse that saw everything. Here's 50 million.
Well, it's like the Secret Service. Secret Service knows what the hell presidents have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, well,
You're not allowed to talk. Hey, Secret Service. What the fuck?
Has Hillary said anything about, or Bill said anything about them showing up on the list, or what? Because they're known.
They said that they flew planes and stuff with him, but it's usually for the Clinton Foundation. They were going to help a charity or raise money for the program, and they would fly all over the world to do that.
So they've admitted to flying underage girls?
No. They admitted to flying in his plane. But they have not admitted being on his island. But some of the workers there have said they saw Clinton on the island. Who are you going to believe?
I mean, those foundations are easy ways for them to, do a lot of things. A lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if I had a foundation, I would be very happy.
Yeah.
Marv Connor Foundation. Let's start a GoFundMe. Well, you leaving now because I'm talking foundations?
Yeah, I'm just like, I went to go start a foundation.
I don't even know Marv Connor. So that list came out, and there was a big football controversy because Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show and said, I'll tell you that Jimmy Kimmel's going to be glad if that list doesn't come out. What?
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, he's been a tool bag since they invented tool bags.
I agree. I heard he'd get mad at a receiver and he wouldn't throw him the ball anymore the rest of the season. And I saw, I don't have proof, but I saw receivers. Like,
what's that?
In fantasy, I picked up a receiver that was getting all kinds of catches and touchdowns and shit from Aaron Rodgers. Then Aaron Rodgers didn't throw again to him the rest of the year. Like, why? Why would you just stop throwing to a guy?
I mean, yeah, there are, and that's an easy way to torpedo somebody's career. That's for sure. But, even whenever he was talking about the whole pandemic and stuff like that, like he knows anything, and it's just, oh, I did my research. I'm clean living. Okay. All right. I don't believe you. I think you're
Trump
bonkers.
research.
He is bonkers. Now,
It's crazy.
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel, did a lot of.
He ripped him good.
Yeah, but he did a lot of stuff too that, it.
Well, he was on the Man Show. Misogyny.
No,
and
I'm not
rape.
necessarily talking about that, but so I don't know, but Aaron Rodgers is just crazy. He's just flat out like crazy.
I agree. He's a nutbag, but he's a rich nutbag.
It would not
With a
shock
good
me if he either joins a cult or starts a cult or
He's got
in
the man
some
bun.
way. What's that?
He's got the man bun.
Yeah, or in
start his
some
own
way is involved with cult-like behavior. You know what I mean?
Aaron Rodgers is the guy at the party with the guitar that John Belushi punches on the steps on the way down. He's the guy with the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks that he's all in touch with his soul, and that that he went into the darkness for a show, so he could say that he went into darkness. Who cares?
Aaron Rodgers
He's the guy.
healed his Achilles tendon by listening to dolphins have sex.
Yeah, he thinks he's the guy that he's going to get some sort of meaning out of putting a tattoo on his arm. Like now, all of a sudden, that changed his life because he's got this new tattoo. It's just like, give me a break. I bet he's seen some things.
Aaron Rodgers has
All this
seen
for a
some
man
things.
that spends an innumerable amount of his job putting his hands on another man's ass.
Aaron Rodgers,
So
sum up your career.
you got a Super Bowl. Good for you. He's just still trying to stay a little bit more relevant, and he's another one of those that's kind of ruined it for himself. He's just weird, man.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Bruh.
Hey, bro.
I think isn't he one of those 9/11 inside job guys?
He's a conspiracy nut.
Yeah.
I don't know what his particular.
Conspiracy
I was-
Avenue is.
I was trying to talk to Aaron. I said, "Hey, Aaron, what are you doing?" And he said,
I'm at the
That would be a good test for anybody. What's your conspiracy level? I mean, like, where are you at on the conspiracy scale of what conspiracies you're willing to believe, and what conspiracies that you're like, no, you're fucking crazy.
"You're a fucking crazy dude." Aaron Rodgers.
fire in the hole!
I'm just glad I don't have to hear about him anymore. And
Because folks, if you don't know, John Wellington is a Bears fan. He's a
unfortunately,
Bears fan.
I had a bad week this past week when they didn't even talk to Harbaugh. So I was a little bit, But anyway, we won't. This isn't a sports show.
Oh, are you a Harbaugh fan?
I at least thought they should have made a call or, inquired about it or something. I don't know.
Oh, the Bears, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, he just won the championship. Give him a day off.
I don't give anybody a day. You get the call, man. You get the call.
Here's the Bears.
They gave him a
They
day.
called him up. Hello, is Harbaugh there?
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Wait, that's not what we called.
I mean, I knew in my heart of hearts that they were never going to contact him because they don't want another coach like Ditka.
Did they hire a coach?
No, they kept their coach, which is,
I will look for you.
see what happens.
I will find you.
They didn't look.
But they just don't
I
want
will
to
kill
come
you.
with a personality that they think is going to overshadow their father or the organization.
Who's the father running it now? Who's running it now?
George Hallis was the old
Oh,
coach.
he's been gone for weeks.
Right?
This just in, George
they're like-
Hallis is still dead.
Yeah.
Still
So
dead.
they're always going to go with non-fiery milquetoast coach.
They had a guy named Ditka seemed a little fired up.
I'm talking about since Ditka because they don't like the way that whole thing turned out. I think a lot of them.
Are you a Dan Campbell fan?
He's all right.
He's exactly what you're describing.
Not really. It's not the same as Harbaugh. I would put them in two different categories.
Well, they both Harbaughs were in the Super Bowl against each other, so he's got a lot of success.
Yeah, no, I like John Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh. I just don't think that they're as meatheady as Dan Campbell. I mean, I don't mind Dan Campbell. But yeah, he's all right.
We're bored everybody with football talk. What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know.
Okay. So Iowa this week. They're caucusing.
The Iowa Hawkeyes?
They're going to caucus all over each other. And we thought it would be a good idea if we looked up what the fuck a caucus is. Who knows what a caucus is? Have you caucused? Have you ever caucused?
This morning.
Caucused this morning?
Yep, just this morning. I got all caucused out.
We're going to put this up on the screen. All right. We're going to caucus. What is a caucus?
Are we allowed to play this?
It's MSNBC, so we'll see. What's the worst can happen? I'm going to put it on big screen. Big screen.
And this is from NBC?
Yeah.
Our
MSNBC.
parent company.
A president.
We'll
And
say
13
that.
states and 2 U.S. territories use some form of the caucus system. What is a caucus exactly?
What is a caucus?
Well, it's when they try to get out there and get all of the, to figure out who's going to be the best candidate.
It helps decide. I don't really know, to be honest.
On Iowa's caucus day, election day is more like election hour. At 7 p.m., whether it's at a school, Legion Hall, church, government building, or another location, you have to show up in person at one of 1,681 precincts to participate.
Weird
Explain
pep
to me,
rally.
how do you caucus?
You go to the area in your precinct, and then from there you decide which candidate you're going to caucus for.
You kind of go and stand by who you want to support.
You kind of go and
So
stand for who
stupid.
you want to support.
The group.
Because political parties control the primary process, what you do once you're inside the caucus depends on whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. The Republican caucus process is pretty straightforward. You walk in, you write the name of your candidate on a piece of paper, you hand it in, ballots are counted, a winner's announced, and delegates are awarded. If you're
So-
a Democrat, caucusing is sort of a game of musical chairs. There's a public pitch to everyone who shows up by a campaign representative for each candidate. Then caucus goers literally break into groups for their candidate or to an area for undecided voters. The percentage each candidate gets is calculated, and a candidate's support is deemed viable if in the vast majority of caucus locations they get 15% support or more. Caucus goers whose candidate doesn't make the cut can realign to another campaign, try to reach viability by recruiting additional supporters, or go to the undecided category and be recruited from there. The process repeats until all remaining candidates are viable. Then, delegates are awarded. Confused? You're not alone. And it's why some say the turnout for the Iowa caucus has historically been so low. Are you going to caucus, Pat?
Well,
Are you going to caucus?
It's probably going to depend on the weather.
How about you?
yeah, I was going to say,
Not.
I think it depends a majority on the weather, right?
What is this weekend?
Like, how cold is it in Iowa, today?
Is this how cold is it? Am I supposed to say that for you?
Or do you do,
You doing a joke? How cold is it?
yeah, that's what
Oh, no, you're serious. It's going to be like -10. It's going to be cold as But you see,
Yeah,
the Republicans,
-14.
they just go and vote. But you got to go in that building. But Democrats are much more complicated.
Well, I could understand if they still held this, if there were like even 4 or 5, but they're down to 3. Aren't they? Or is Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever his name is?
There's 5
He's
left,
still in it? Oh, he's still in it.
and so is the guy from the congressman or senator
Is it
Asa
Chris?
Hutchinson. Hutchinson's still in it. Vivek is still in it. Trump is in it. That's 3.
Oh,
Nikki
Asa
Haley
Hutchinson's
is
still in it.
4. DeSantis is 5. I think it's at 5.
So when the MAGA people start threatening everybody, is that when they move over to follow Donald Trump? Because I mean,
They just go in. Basically, they just go in, and there's a booth for. It looked like on the video. You just go in and vote for whoever you want and put it in the box in a Republican one.
Yeah, I was talking about the caucusing though, right? When they go to move to whoever wants this person or whatever, they can still go in and vote for whoever they want, right?
Yeah, you can go in and vote. You mean you can do an unwritten one? Okay, let me watch. I'm watching it again. It says the Republicans just walk in. They go into their booth in the building, that 1,600 buildings. Republicans just walk up and vote. They put their vote in a box, and they count the votes, and they award a winner. Whoever had the most
then
votes.
who is it? The Democrats then that do the weird pep rally?
Yeah, the Democrats are the ones. They go out and each person gets a speech. You walk over and you stand with whoever you want.
Oh, that's so stupid.
And if that person isn't at 15%, they're out, and those people have to go and pick a new person. And once everybody that's left has 15%, the votes are awarded. If you're below 15, those people reshuffle.
Leave it to the Democrats to take a simple process and muck it up and complicate it.
Yeah, it looks like Republicans you basically just go in. They probably give speeches, but you just vote.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, the caucuses, the way the Democrats do it, would probably benefit MAGAs because they could just bully everybody into coming back to Trump.
Right. Well, if you in a Democrat, you got to get 15% or you're out.
That seems like
those people get
one of
reshuffled.
those.
It's like the voting rank system.
What's
Have
that?
you seen those? They vote. You vote. You rank your candidates.
Yeah.
If your candidate doesn't reach a certain margin, then your vote is recast for your second choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vote. What's that called?
Rank choice voting.
Rank choice voting. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that either.
I think it's probably better.
Yeah. At least it doesn't completely throw away your,
Didn't we do it for comedy shows?
Your vote. Yeah. Actually, that is how we kind of voted for.
Pasa Vida.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But some people would vote to knock out. It was weird how they did it. They were able to.
Well, that's what started happening with the Cleveland Comedy Festival.
Yeah, they started gaining the
people would vote for the worst comic.
Yeah.
So that when it was ranked choice, they would pick who they wanted. Then they would pick who they didn't want.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want the other good people getting a vote.
Right. And
so
it's just
very
like,
manipulative.
Yeah, it's just like what the. I mean,
so oftentimes the second place comic would be the worst comic in the field.
Yeah.
And so you're awarding these.
Or
you're second in the Cleveland Comedy Festival. Oh, but you were terrible.
Right. Right.
That happened a lot. Because people aren't dumb. They figure out how to manipulate shit.
I mean, it's just a weird thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we have caucused all over each other today. And Donald Trump is at 40. The newest poll, this lady who does the most accurate poll, supposedly for Iowa, says that Donald Trump is at 48%, and that Nikki Haley is at 20%, and DeSantis is at 16%. So Nikki Haley has swarmed in a second. And there's a lot of people think she has a good chance of maybe upsetting Trump in New Hampshire.
What did you say Trump's percentage was at?
48. That's a big win, 28%.
Yeah.
But
I mean, come on.
it's 6 votes. I was not shit.
Marv, they're just trying to get viewers. They're trying to sell commercials. Trump's going to win it. I mean,
Oh, let's hope not.
well, no, I hope not. I don't even want. I mean, but they're all subservient to him. So I mean, if they follow what he wants to do, so they're going to rip up the Constitution too. Has anybody asked that question? So Trump has stated that he's not going to follow the Constitution. Once you're president, do you all
Dictator for a day?
You're not going to. What's that?
Dictator for a day.
Yeah. Are you going to do the same thing since you are kowtowed to everything he says and you don't want to, say anything? I mean, maybe DeSantis has said a couple of things, but Haley hasn't. I mean, she's still, And Ramaswamy is just looking to get another job.
Well, he's already rich. He don't need a job.
Yeah, no, but he wants a high-profile job. There's one thing to be rich and nobody knows who you are. And
Trump actually said some derisive things about Vivek finally, because Vivek took a couple of shots at Trump.
Oh,
Very
really?
low, minor shots, but Trump actually reacted to him. But what's going on with Trump? Let's talk about it. He's in all kinds of shit. This week, his lawyers went to court, and the judge says, so if Navy SEAL Team 6 wants to assassinate a political rival, you're saying he can't be prosecuted for that if the Trump orders that? And his lawyer said, only if Congress impeached and convicted him
First,
could he
right?
be prosecuted. Otherwise, he can't be. So the judge says, so you're saying no, he can't be prosecuted. And the guy goes, that's not what I said. He said, I said, only if he's impeached and convicted by the Senate can he be prosecuted. And the judge is saying, it's never happened. So you're saying he can't be convicted. That's not what I'm saying. The judge goes, I'm taking it as a no. Is it yes or no? I'm putting down no. No prosecution.
Can I ask though? It's plausible though, right, that a president could order a murder of a United States citizen on U.S. property, and no one find out about it, right?
Well, yeah, that's different though. That's getting away with the crime, right?
I mean, then they could, while they're president, if they can't be prosecuted by any crime. So does it specifically say?
Oh no, they can be prosecuted. That's what it said. Remember during his impeachment, and this is what the defense. This is what Jack Smith's side said. He said, look, they all got up. Every one of these same lawyers got up and said, impeachment is not the place to punish Donald Trump. The place to punish him is through the courts. He can still be arrested. He can still be brought up on charges for all the crimes he committed as president. So we don't convict him of impeachment. Now they're saying the place to convict him was impeachment. And if you don't impeach
Right.
him, you can't arrest him.
Well, right.
They want it both ways.
The lawyers are doing the double talk, reverse-a-roo sort of thing.
Yeah.
I got that. But I guess what I'm what I'm asking is, if a president did do something like that, would anybody say anything about it or do anything about it?
You mean if, let's say I'm President Marv says, I want you to kill John Wellington. Don't
Yeah.
tell anybody.
Yeah.
Keep it on the DL. Only if someone talks.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, who's to say? Hey, well, it hasn't happened, but I mean,
A lot of people think Johnson had Kennedy killed.
yeah, there's nothing to stop it from,
Only the law. But now Trump is saying they'll all can't even stop. Trump is saying I have the right to kill whoever I want. I
So
can commit any crime I want.
but internationally, that's kind of true though, right?
Well, there's people who got away with it, but there's supposed to be that Nuremberg and all those places that are supposed. The Hague has an international court. Like you're not going to see Dick Cheney flying around the world because there's people who want to arrest him for the war crimes in Iraq.
Right. If he did, how would that happen? Like, let's say
he flies to
went to
Belfast.
yeah.
If the government there is okay with it, they're going to go and arrest him, and they're going to put in the, what is it called when you have to transfer a prisoner?
Extradition.
Extradite him to The Hague, where they would hold him and have a trial.
That's interesting.
But I mean, we're such a powerful country. I don't know if we can get away with it. But he's potentially up for arrest. So is Bush. I think Obama could be in some countries. All those drone
attacks.
He's probably got
a lot of
someone
bodies
wants to arrest
on
him. I mean, if you're president, you should be aware of the political atmosphere of wherever you're going. That's for sure. Because people tried to arrest Cheney when he was vice president. Remember, people were going, "Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest!"
Really?
Oh yeah, it happened several times.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You're under arrest for war crimes. Huh?
They just got beat up or what?
They got disappeared for a little bit, not completely, just taken away.
Like if they went up and tried to
Cheney just turned his heart off for a little bit because it's mechanical.
Yeah.
Took care of him and turned his heart back on.
He's like, doesn't count. I was dead then.
I mean, I don't know what war crimes people would charge against Trump because, you know what? He gave away secrets to Sergei Lavrov. There might be some countries
he's spouting out
to support.
shit.
Like he gave away some of Israel's information.
I wonder if he's got
Russians.
his own separate website on the dark web of just selling top secret.
Yeah. Tremendous job. We got the best secrets. Best secrets. Come buy your secrets from me, the Trump man.
Hey,
Mike Lindell says, Donald Trump's got the best secret pillow secrets there is.
This is a fantastic document right here. I remember this was authenticated by authenticators. The best authenticators authenticated this. You'll see a seal of approval right here. You've got the date of authenticity right here. And this can be yours, this state secret, for a mere $10K. $10K, you can 10K. Have this. This is 10K. This is shit talk between Leon Panetta
bargain
and Hillary Clinton. They're talking about how ugly Harry Kissinger is, and you can own this today.
You are fake news.
I mean, I can't
be rude,
nation, but I can completely see him selling literally every sheet of paper in that box that he's come on.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
And look, right here, this stain, you get a little Trumpy memento.
I'm really rich.
And then he plays on the whole thing. Well, nobody said you couldn't do it. But no, you mean you just didn't read where you said you couldn't do it.
Right.
You didn't see a picture of, that's what they need to show him. It's a picture of people doing bad things. And then the big like red X thing. Like, no.
Oh.
Trump coming. After he comes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
He's a polite guy.
He showed up in some graphic stuff with the whole Epstein thing. Captain Trump.
Grab him by the pussy.
Hey, Donald, how'd you treat the underage girls?
Grab him by the pussy.
Oh, Yeah.
That's my interpretation, by the way, folks. That is not a real confession by Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump would have said this, though.
Grab him by the pussy.
I think that was him saying that. But it was about grown women there, because he is
I'm an extremely stable genius. Okay.
extremely stable genius.
He is. He is.
Of all the genius, I'm the stablest. Stables have horses. I want to point that out.
Do you think his children are going to like sell pieces of him or locks of his hair, like after he dies or when he
They might
dies?
freeze his body and cut his head off like they did with.
Yeah,
Who's
you
the
remember
baseball
like when
guy?
they used to do those travel shows with Abe Lincoln, or like dead famous people.
Stan was it? That wasn't Stan Musial. The Boston guy, Ted.
Ted Williams. Ted Williams.
Ted Williams. They
Yeah,
have his head.
that's just because you watched a lot of Futurama and thought that was going to actually happen.
China.
I can just envision them like putting Trump on a train, right? And then him traveling to all these cities, and then they can look at his body and pay a bunch of money. And
like Trump said himself.
We all need to laugh.
So let's see his body. Man, there's a lot of new Trump quotes.
Was he talking about the Muggles or the purebloods?
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
The Muggles. Okay, so Trump is going to win Iowa.
Yes.
It's cold as fuck there. People may or may not come out to vote. It could be a bump in the road. The judges basically looked at Trump's lawyers, though, and they said, we don't think you can just kill people. So I'm thinking the judges are going to toss that immunity thing out. But then he'll appeal it to the Supreme Court and waste. It's all about delay. Everything is about delay. Because he's brought some weird things up to dispute and take out of court. But here's the thing. That is a 3-judge panel. He can take that decision to the full panel for the district court. So he's got another appeal there. And then he can appeal to the Supreme Court, taking more and more time. And what else is going on with Trump? In Georgia, Fani Willis has been accused of hiring a guy to work as the special prosecutor who arranged the grand jury, the first grand jury. Yeah, Georgia had 2 grand juries. The first one they had to do. They're saying that she hired a guy and gave him like $500,000 and then went on vacation with him. So they're saying she's corrupt and they want those charges dismissed.
Wait a minute. She hired somebody to be on the grand jury or
to run it.
To run it.
A prosecutor to run it. Yeah. And
so?
it turns out he may or may not be her boyfriend.
So what does that have to do with anything?
It really, the two things aren't connected. But if you're Donald Trump,
of course. Yeah, he's going to try to
They're
connect.
saying it was corrupt. She was corrupt herself because she funneled money to her boyfriend and then helped him spend it. Which may
wait a minute.
It may or may not be
him a vacation. They went on vacation together is pretty much what you just said.
She hired him to be the prosecutor.
Okay.
And
then they went on vacation.
Like $600,000 to run this thing. And then they had a relationship.
Okay.
That's what they're alleging. She has not commented. There's been no reply, whether it's true or not. But this guy who's part of the indictment has made these allegations. And now Trump is off and running with it too.
I mean, it doesn't look good, but it has nothing to do with Trump.
No, most people are saying it really won't affect that trial. It might hurt her credibility.
Let me ask you a question, though. In the broad scheme of things, in the overall, like if you would take a step back and look at do you think that Trump has been better for democracy in a weird way? Like before, if we
He's
looked at everything,
exposed the failures of our system that always counted on people just agreeing to follow it.
and that's what I mean.
Yes.
And
He's
and
exposed a
now
lot.
and now there's going to be, well, if depends on how everything goes, there's going to have to be a lot of corrections made, right?
You would hope so, that we would close loopholes and
Kind of
stuff.
learn from this.
Like they did close the loophole about the electors because, Trump was trying to exploit the thing. Here's the thing. Trump's side is like this. If it doesn't say it, it's not a rule.
Right.
So
right.
they're saying because
The George
the Constitution says that a person who has been convicted and removed from office by impeachment can still be arrested. But they're saying what that means, if you haven't been convicted, then you can't be arrested. They're twisting it.
Yeah.
They're saying, oh no, if you've been convicted, you can still be arrested. But they're saying, oh, what doesn't say if you're found innocent, you can be arrested. So they're taking a logical thing and taking that non sequitur and saying it means something. Like when you tell your kids, you come home right after school.
Yeah, but isn't
and your kid goes home and then they go to their friend's house. You're saying you knew what I meant.
Yeah. So, but there's a difference though, and I think this is kind of between a political trial and a criminal trial, right?
Oh yeah.
Because the impeachment is basically a political trial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't follow the rule of law. It doesn't have to.
Yeah.
No one said the impeachments. I mean, Trump is the first president. They had 57 votes against him, but it wasn't enough. He needed 67.
Yeah.
So, and that's not a conviction. That's just removal from the, office of president, and you can't run again. I mean, senators had a chance to take care of. This is all because Donald Trump can't lose.
Yeah, but
all of this shit is happening because Donald Trump wouldn't accept failure, which is what you were talking about.
But how many people were, I guess, brought over to his side, regardless of whatever he does? Doesn't matter. How many people were brought over to his side just because they think that he gets picked on?
Probably 25%.
You think that many?
Yeah.
And that they're just...
I remember
regardless of whatever he does.
I remember the first Last Comic Standing. I voted for the guy that everybody picked on. Fan.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't the best comic. That was
Right.
not a wise vote on my part. But it was for comedians, so who cared? I mean, Ralphie May was clearly better. So were the other comic. Rich Voss was good. But that fan was being picked on by everybody, and I think most of the country voted for him because of that.
How did you vote for that back then? Was that on your phone?
Phone.
Oh, okay.
Or
Like
maybe
texted?
email. Maybe email. I think it was text.
Didn't you have to pay for that?
I don't know. If I had to pay, I wouldn't have done it. So.
But you were rooting for Fan because everybody's picking on him.
Yeah. That's a pretty American thing. Support the
Yeah. Yeah. I just 25% seems like a lot, and to still be, hooked in with just that.
You think it's too much? What do you think?
No, I think it probably, honestly, I think it's probably about right because,
well,
they get this feeling, oh, he's getting picked on, and then they're just thinking, oh, well, they're just going to find anything about him. But the bad part is he's getting picked on because a lot of it's true.
That's why he's arrested. He did all these things.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of messed up,
I made a video yesterday.
You have Fox reinforcing it, and that's all they watch. or they watch versions of Fox saying, "Oh, yeah, he's saying crazy shit, but he's getting picked on." They're picking on him.
Yeah, they're picking on poor Donald, the poor billionaire.
Yeah.
Hey, I made a video yesterday about evangelist Eddie, and it was basically me screaming about you got to vote for Trump because he represents God and stuff. It's on my Facebook page.
Yeah, he's got a lot of factions. You know, that is one thing that he was able to do. He was able to bring all the crazy parts of the Republican Party together, minus the intellectual part of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And he brought all of those under one tent and said, "Fuck you," to the other part. I don't need you, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to present Evangelist Eddie for a second. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. Let's see. How do I do that? I got to pick this. You recognize this guy? Welcome, my friends. Today and tomorrow, we'll be going up against evil. Evil, friends. I'm telling you, evil is about this. People of Iowa, you got to get out there and you got to caucus all over the place for Donald J. Trump, the true evangelical leader of our church, the man who puts Jesus and God first. Donald J. Trump is our only hope. He is our savior. This is the man who tried to buy Greenland in God's name. This is the man who wanted to nuke hurricanes in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. He did all this in their name, and we support that. He attempted a coup to stay in power for God's sake. He wanted to stay in power so bad. He had people murdered. He had fake electors. Much like the people, Judas had turned down people. Fake electoring. He sparked fake electoring, John.
Those electors were his apostles.
That is Eddie the Evangelist telling the people of Iowa what's up.
Does he also own the Raiders?
Eddie the Evangelist?
Yes.
I wish he did.
If you
put
nice
on hair. A white, did you like that guy's hair though? Nice.
Yeah, if you put on an all white jumpsuit, you would look exactly
like Al
like
Davis.
Yeah, you could be Al Davis.
Al Davis.
Yeah. Easy.
Oh man, it's 52 minutes. Perfect. What? Oh, we got stuff to talk about still. We did caucus. Hunter Biden hearing. We got to talk about that. It was great. It was so awesome. Did you see it all?
I saw parts of it. I saw Nancy Mace lose her ever-loving mind while she was bitching out Hunter Biden for not being there and sitting right there when she could ask him questions. And then it was just like, well, ask him questions. And he was like, well, he didn't show up behind closed doors when we wanted to ask him questions. And so now he's here. And they were just like hyperventilating.
He doesn't have any balls.
They just, and then
Marjorie Taylor Greene says, wait, I got pictures of balls.
Right. And then the one guy says, you're not going to show up more pornography, are you? Because the last time you showed pornography. And she's like, no, I'm not going to show pornography. And then she shows pornography.
Oh, yeah. Here was the line. He goes, this lady has shown pornography before. She goes, I'm not going to show pornography. He goes, well, you can be the judge of that. He goes, oh no. He says, well, you're the expert. He goes, I'm not a pornography expert. And then she held him a picture of his dick and balls. But does he have balls or not? Clearly those are balls.
One of the best parts was, I don't remember which congressman it was, but he said, sure. He said, I'll be happy to go ahead with the Hunter Biden subpoenas. If you go along with the Jim Jordan subpoenas and you go along with the, and I forget, he listed them all out.
Mo Brooks, Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Let's do all those subpoenas too.
6 of them.
Yeah, let's do all those.
Let's vote those too. And they're like,
they're just
no. There was I watched one this morning about what happened later too, and Biggs was like, "You guys just don't want to pick on. You're just picking on, and you're ignoring. We never ignored any of the Democrat stuff. We never. everything we did was perfectly. Like you had this fake Russian thing. Like they're getting away with saying the Russian thing was fake. There was nothing in the investigation was fake. Everything there was proof. There was 10 things he could have been impeached for in there, and they're all saying it was a hoax, and it was never a hoax. All kinds of evidence. Mueller really dropped the ball.
What they did is there was a small slice of the investigation that was misleading, or the Steele file, right? There was parts of that was
allegedly. I'm not even sure how much of it was misleading. No one's ever really said.
They just said that it was so crazy that they didn't think that it was real. But
yeah, they focused on the PP tapes.
Yeah,
I bet there is a PP tape.
It wouldn't shock me with some of the weird.
But I'm not going to go on and demand an investigation because what the fuck? Nobody cares if Donald Trump likes having prostitutes pee in his mouth.
He cozied up the weird Trump stuff. Like he cozied up with Ben Roethlisberger in order to get Stormy Daniels' info.
Oh, did he?
I mean, just the weird intersections of people and him asking for that sort of thing. What I mean, who tells what he's not capable of? Not to say that that's not like, but it's still weird.
Let's point out Hunter Biden has agreed to testify in private. They're going to do it. They're going to depose him next week. So I don't know if the Department of Justice will never follow through on this subpoena thing.
Yeah, but that's he's already agreed with him, right? Because then they've already said in the hearing the other day about what the Republicans are going to do when he testifies in the secret hearing. Yeah, so everything that he says, they're going to leak out in little bits.
They've already done it.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just keep doing it with different shit.
Because when Hunter Biden's friend came and testified and said Joe Biden didn't do anything for business stuff, and they come out and say, well, Hunter Biden's friend said he did stuff for business. And the guy said explicitly, that's not true. That's not what I...
Yeah. So they can lie and say whatever, obfuscate. That's why they should just do it out in the public. Same thing with the Trump stuff.
Here's the point of why you want to do private deposition. First of all, you can ask a lot more questions and then only focus on the important stuff because they only get 5 minutes each in the public meetings. You know what I mean?
They get more time behind closed doors.
So you can take all the information, get what you want to talk about for your 5 minutes, and they could coordinate it. I don't think Republicans will, but they could coordinate it and have a interesting and informative investigation. I think they're just going to go. So, did you get your picture of your dick taken? I think that's what.
But wait a minute, though. I have a question. What is stopping them from having that amount of time on television anyway? Not necessarily like NBC or something like that, but C-SPAN. Who fucking cares? They can take as much
they
time
have
as
committee rules.
And they've changed committee rules before.
Like I think they limit it to 2 hours.
Okay. But you know what? They really don't work that much, do they?
Well, no.
Because half the time when they come in there, they don't seem very prepared. If they were prepared with the right 5 questions.
Right. Here's the thing that stops them. Honestly, John, this is what stops them.
Helicopter.
Thank you. I don't worry.
Helicopter.
And if you watch this ever, you know John hates that. So we got to sneak it in every show. Oh, I got Margaret Taylor Greene barking in the background.
Oh, you heard her?
Well, you're the expert. I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert on pornography.
Oh, and then she goes.
Just on
her first question was, "What are the rules? What are the rules committee?" And AOC goes, "You got members on your side that have been on this committee for over a year, and they're still asking to hear the rules." She really ripped into him. AOC really going there. Goes, look, we want to hear Hunter Biden. Let's have him testify. And then she started naming she's made fun of Nancy Mays. She made fun of. She goes, and you got members who have been here. Oh, I don't know, been here for over a year. They're still asking what the rules for the committee are. They gave us a book the first day. So,
oh, I can see why they don't like her though. All right.
yeah, Lauren Boebert switched districts, and now the districts are like, we don't want Lauren Boebert. Like, she don't even know anything about our
I guess
district.
you'll do that in the primary. They'll decide whether right.
Prove it. So it's going to be interesting. All right, an hour. We're an hour in.
Yeah. One last thing. I think you had a bunch of different crazy stories and stuff, right? So you want to do one last thing?
Well, I don't know if we have time. I did want to mention January 25th, we're going to be at the Funny Stop with the Hellvan movie. We're going to roast it. That's going to be a good time. February 8th, I'm headlining with Chris Clem at the Funny Stop. Doing that. And I watched, this is not anything we talked about. I watched that documentary Sly.
What is it?
And about Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
And the sum of it was he couldn't get any traction in his career. So he sat down and he started working really hard and writing his own stuff. And he created his own career. And I'm thinking, because I'm 65 and no clubs really want to hire me, and I don't really see a future in the stand-up because I have no following whatsoever. And you got to have Twitter followers and all that, Instagram and all that. That I need to do something like that. I need to maybe reapply try to make this podcast more popular, or make videos, something where I can reach out and people would show an interest in my comedy. I'm like, that's a good, watch that documentary.
Yeah. I'll give it a look. But yeah, he was scrounging as actor, trying everything, and he wrote that and sold it. And I mean, a lot of people.
He refused to sell his part, though. He says, I am Rocky. That's the only way I'll sell it. And they offered him $265,000. Back then, a lot of money.
Yeah.
To not be Rocky. They were paying him not to be the actor. And he refused. So, pretty cool. Anything going on with you?
No. I'm probably going to. So you're not going to be hitting any open mics, or you are going to hit open mics? Or I guess we can talk about this off, but.
I'm probably going to.
That off, but.
Yeah, I'm still going to hit some. Because I like writing jokes.
I completely agree with you that, write your own stuff, have your own stuff written, and, just be prepared to try to get it out there and sell it.
I might go the route of acting in these horror movies and stuff, try to get some popularity. Because I was told I could work in those. Directors are interested in having me come do it. I don't know if I can afford to just go do shows and shit, but because they don't pay enough to. I don't know what they pay. I don't think they can pay. They're independent directors and they don't have any money.
Yeah.
But I could probably get in a lot of movies that way. I don't know. I might try that route, and then just keep working on my comedy anyways, because I love to write jokes. Here's a joke. I'll tell you to leave. Remember that kid that stood up in my class and said, I have a gun in my backpack and I'm killing everybody in the room? I rewrote it to this. I'm going, so my last day of teaching, a kid stands up in my classroom and says, I have a gun in my backpack. I'm killing everyone in the room. I'm like, oh, crap. I have to give this kid an A now because that is perfect current events show and tell. What is more a classroom?
That's definitely an A in participation.
Yeah. How about you?
He got the assignment.
I'm not doing tonight, open mic. I've got to play in Cleveland. Mrs. Doubtfire, I think.
Oh, you're going to go see that?
Yeah.
Tell me how that is.
We do that package series.
Oh, okay. Talk to me a little bit about that afterwards, because I'd like to do something like that.
All right, boys. Let's take us out of here. Let me find you. Where'd you go, boys? Boys! Where are you? I lost the boys' video. Music, boys, music. It was just right here. All right, I gotta start closing things so I can find the boys. Come on, boys! Where are they? Oh, there it is. That's Civil Language number 32 in the books.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Boom! Boom! Bring it home, boys.
And as always, we hope you learned something. We don't know anything.
Hit subscribe.
You.
Yeah.
Follow
right.
us. Watch the videos.
Thank you.
Now,
Now, bump, bump.
I love it.